So you want to learn how to fly?
Let's find out how. First thing you want to do, take out a piece of paper, write down why you want to fly, keep it with you. Flying can be frustrating, training can be frustrating. You want to always remember why. Lose the why, lose the way.
Step 2, decide if you want to do things part 61 or part 141. Nothing to do with where you want to go, nothing to do with the airlines. Pick 61 if you want to set your own schedule. Pick 141 if you want a well-built schedule and program that you can follow.
More on that in a different video. Third step is ground school. A couple different options. Online is a great option. You can set your own pace. It's multifaceted. Different video modules that you can keep with you throughout your whole flying career and go back to. And there's practice tests built into the software. Another option is going to an airport and talking to an instructor, either a ground instructor or flight instructor. They might have a course already designed for you, or maybe they can go one-on-one and go with you at your own pace.
Step 4, when you found a good ground school, you can begin your flying process. Now this might be with the same people that are doing your ground training, it might not be. Find an airport, maybe it's close by, maybe it's not. Pick ones that have good reputations for safety, maybe have airplanes you want to fly, and cost. Do some shopping, see what works best. But make sure to act. Go for it. Don't sit around waiting and Googling forever. Go in and start talking to people.
Yeah, if you want to be a pilot and you haven't visited an airport yet, that's what you got to do first. Step 5, go get your medical. You need your flight medical before you solo. We recommend getting it before you start any of your flight training. Get it out of the way. If you have any problems or anything that come up during your medical, it can take months or even more than a year for the FAA to sort through it. So get your medical done. Google AME, Aviation Medical Examiner, and find the closest one and go get your flight medical.
Step 6, know your exams and prepare for them. The first one is that written exam. You can get this done before you ever start flying if you want. After you complete a ground school, either online or with an instructor, you're going to get an endorsement. You take that to a testing center. Google PSI, testing, private pilot, written exam test, something along those lines. You'll find it. You'll pay, I think, $175. You'll go to a testing center. You can take that test. The next test is a combined test. It's an oral exam mixed with a practical test. We call it the check ride. This is going to involve taking a test with an FAA designated examiner. They're going to give you a conversational, about an hour and a half, maybe an hour to 2 hour test, and then they'll take you up into the air and you'll fly, do some maneuvers. All this stuff you'll have plenty of time to prepare for and practice while you're doing your flight and ground training.
Once you pass your check ride, you'll be given a piece of paper and you can fly. That's your private pilot's license while you wait for your card to come. What better way to celebrate than taking up some friends and family and enjoying the privileges of flight?
Here are some closing thoughts on how to get your pilot's license. The first one I would say is don't wait and don't let all the information on the internet overwhelm you. Get started. Contact an airport. If there's a discovery flight nearby you, just Google local discovery flights, airport, something like that. Do it. It's cheap. It's cheaper flying than you're going to get for normal flight training, and they purposely design those for people like you that are thinking about getting started flying. They can answer all of your questions.
Yeah. Second, when you're looking at aircraft rental, we recommend doing some shopping. Just because an airport is closest to you doesn't mean it's the best option you have. When you're looking at aircraft prices, you want to look at the difference between wet and dry rates. Dry means you're paying just for the airplane, and you'll pay out of pocket for any fuel you use. Wet means you're paying for the airplane and fuel. The owner and the operator of the airplane is going to put the fuel in the airplane. You're just taking the plane and you're not worrying about fuel. When you look at that, dry prices on paper are going to be a lot cheaper. But you want to look at what is the cost of fuel at your airport, figure out based on the airplane how much fuel it burns and how much of an additional cost that's going to be.
The last thing I'll say, which needs mentioning, is when you might get a quoted price from whatever flight school you're at, and you might get a quoted timeline, always expect it to cost more and take longer. I would say at least 1.5 times whatever they say it's going to cost is how much it's actually going to cost, if not more. Same thing with time. Life happens. Sometimes the instructors aren't available, the airplanes aren't available, or you're not available. You don't know what's going to happen next week or next month. Just plan for things to take long and don't be discouraged if things cost a little bit more than they say and takes longer than they say.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Caleb.
This is Safety Pilot. We're Minnesota pilots passionate about all things aviation.
We're creating content and everything from drone flying to maintenance, check ride prep, flight training, and aircraft ownership, while having fun along the way.
Yeah, so come fly with us and we'll be your safety pilot.